Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 30-point game of my Darius up against Denghra. Alright, so just like I just recently started up Signar, my brother decided to start up Cryx. I think he plans to go and really get into them in a big way, and so this is going to be his very first game. He just put them together and wanted to try them out, so here's our 30 points. The mission that we're doing here is one that's radial. You're trying to control the flag on your right, but to score you have to also contest your opponent's zone. First one of two wins. From my side, I have the Defender, I have the Charger, I have the Centurion, I have the Ironclad, and I have the Hunter, and of course little Halfjacks and Darius in the back. And then for him, he has the War Witch, he has all these Bane Thralls, he has two Slayers and a Reaper, and one of the little chickens there on the right, Denghra, and then he also has the Scarlock. So, you know, so far talking to him, I know that a bunch of this stuff has stealth, so I'm going to have to go and really make sure that I just concentrate my shooting on his jacks, try and take them out, especially the chicken, just to make sure that he doesn't start channeling through and killing off Darius a little bit early there. But then otherwise, if I can go and disable them by the time they get to me, then I can just take all of these Bane Thralls on the nose of my Centurion, counter and wipe them out, and shouldn't be too bad. The only big thing I'm worried about is that because all these guys have stealth, he can get very close and then run them into my zone to get the contest, and then he might win by scenario. So I'll have to see how that goes. So I have first turn, and really stuff is just marching up the best it can. I put the Fortify up on my Centurion, use Crane to move him up a little bit farther, and this is the way it looks. Denghra's turn, really he's just moving up. I can see that one little War Witch moving over to the left. I guess it's probably the one that's going to try and control his zone, and otherwise nothing else really major. So my next turn, most of my focus is going to my shooters, and I'm just trying to edge up a little tiny bit. The Hunter shoots his chicken and does 10 damage, that knocks out its movement. I also then use the Defender and does 10 damage to the left Slayer and destroys one of its claws. And otherwise now, I'm just actually kind of feeling a little bit bad for him, because if he doesn't move up fairly aggressively, I'm going to be able to just keep on knocking out these jacks, because he has no shooting pretty much, and I have some pretty strong shooting. So his turn, he's just again moving up just a tiny bit here. He has one War Witch that runs up just to tie up my two jacks there on the left. He moves up his little arc node, so he's able to zap my Ironclad, so that I'm -2 speed and all these things, and I can't charge and do special attacks, so that's pretty unfortunate. And he also put Corrosion on my Hunter, which really isn't that big of a deal, and did a little bit of damage to it as well. So on my side, I'm really just still keeping my Centurion there. He has now up his whole polarity thing so that you can't charge him. And then I just keep on shooting. So I do tons of damage to the chicken again. It was left with one box, which just left its cortex. I tried shooting at a Darius to finish it off, but it scattered off. Really boosted up my hits to kill off the War Witch. I have one little Halfjack on the far left there that you can see that's zipping over to maybe go and try and contest his zone later. But otherwise, I'm just shooting him down and killing him. And then this happened. The Scarlock put Ghostly on all of his Bane Thralls here, and they all just ran up into my face. Of course, he upkept that one spell on me. Otherwise, things just really moved up, and then he popped his feet. So now I have all the stuff right in my face. With all the debuffing from Denghra's feet, there'll be very little I can do in return. And now that I know about this Ghostly on these guys where they can be avoiding free strikes, Darius is way too far up, and it's going to be very difficult to protect him. So I do my best. I allocate some focus up to things like my Centurion, hoping that he can be killing some of these Bane Thralls. But really, I don't do too much. Of course, I don't have all that much focus, because even my focus is reduced by 2. I wanted to upkeep the Centurion's armor just to make sure to keep him alive in case I can go on to attrition. I killed 2 of the Bane Thralls, but otherwise everything else was a waste. The Hunter was going to try shooting his right Slayer, but I missed that one shot, so the focus I was going to use the boost is just kind of sitting on him. My Defender was able to hit his left Slayer, and I think now I've taken off his other arm, but yeah, I just got all these guys in my face, and I got one half-jack there that's trying to bog him down, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. If it is, I can hit back really hard, but we'll see. And his turn 4, yeah, that's really it then. So his Scarlock goes, puts up the Ghostly again. His Chicken and the One Slayer just get out of the way. He moves over his Reaper that hits Darius and drags him over. And then it's a simple matter of his Bane Thralls coming over and cutting me up. And that's it. So victory to Cryx, but it was a very good game. On his side, he was saying to me after that he was really surprised at just how deadly my guns were, and how for a while he was having the same feelings, thinking that, man, I'm just going to be torn apart here if I don't get into his face. And on my side, some of the things I could have done better. For one, when he did Denghra's feat, I shouldn't have even tried to kill his Bane Thralls, because even though I can do my regular attacks against them, using extra focus for extra attacks just was pretty much of a waste. I should have just camped all that focus to try and keep me alive, and then just really retaliate the following turn. So that's definitely what I'll do the next time that we get matched up here. As far as anything else, of course, Darius was in extra trouble because I'd moved him up to try and finish off the Chicken. Maybe something I shouldn't have even bothered, because then I wouldn't have been in any real trouble anyway. But yeah, it was an interesting game, a loss, but at least I learned a lot. Thanks for watching. Bye.